I can't hear you. No. Kane, how come I can't hear her?
Are you mute? Is your speaker muted?
No, I don't think so. Didn't look like it.
Oh, well, for some reason your volume opened up your find. Oh, yeah, you got volume.
She's talking. I can hear her. She's talking. We got the wizard here, Ruthie. Hold on. We're gonna get you. Maybe it's on your end. Yeah, it's you. Oh, it's her. Okay. All right. All right. We'll just patiently wait for you. No problem.
Excuse me, Jim. Uh-oh. I got it.
Let's get something out of my car. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I just think we're all running out of time and we're not paying attention to the fact that the world is moving as quickly as it is, and as you watch this video, everything is shifting. I go back to sitting on the beach with my son in Mexico. I think it would be really healthy him to live to be 100. He goes, okay.
Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me? Let's hide him. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to test it. See if anybody can hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Jimmy, can you hear me? I'm the Jimmy.
There's no Jimmy.
No, okay, but you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, sorry everybody. I had to do something. I just pushed a lot of buttons and it started working. Okie dokie. So Jimmy went to do something. So let's look here what we have. What we have is 105 days of inventory. And I think what you didn't hear me say is that NAR is saying that in April we were doing 5.5 offers per listing. Now we're doing 2.5. So they don't see that the market has actually, the demand has slowed down, although the the first-time home buyers, that has definitely slowed down. But with who knows, with the student debt reduction or elimination, the student loan, who knows what's going to happen with that and how many people that's going to affect and how many people are going to be able to buy homes now. If anybody out there knows, because I don't know, I probably should, but I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yes, you can hear me now. I don't know if when you go to get a loan, I would imagine that debt shows up because, if you don't have enough money to pay all your bills, how can you buy a house? So then in class, I don't know what happened to Jimmy, but I'll keep him. I keep looking for him. Anyway, so in class on Friday, we had Buffini and we had social media. We had a great Friday morning. If you want to come next Friday from 9:30 to 11:15, we're going to do the social media mastermind mega group, and it just bring your ideas, your questions. And we just had a great time this past Friday. And then we went right into Buffini. And it's still not too late for you to sign up for Buffini. If you haven't, go to bee.vegas, just like at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling, and sign up, because the first week you can pretty much catch up, because you can watch the videos and catch up pretty quickly because there's not a lot of homework. As the next 13 weeks, there will be more homework. So if you can't this coming week, but you can the following week, that's about it. If you can't do it by the third week, it's a good idea to wait till next year, because we only do it once a year. Yeah. And it's a great, great program to recharge or to get your business started in the right direction, doing the right things at the right time. And there comes Jimmy. He's back. Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Oh, so Jimmy, I was asking everybody a question, and I probably should know the answer to this. I kind of know the logical answer to this, but if I have a student loan and I'm going to get that relieved, is that going to help me buy a house?
Yes, because your student payments go away. So yes, you're able to qualify better now. Yes.
So that's some good news on our front. I know that we all have to pay for it. That's another subject for another day, and that's pretty political. But from just the logical standpoint of our business, I think that's good. That more people.
That's true, and the unexpected impact of that might be if some first-time buyers get in the marketplace. I don't think they thought about that when they did that, but it did very well stimulate the economy. It could bring back some buyers in the market that were out of the market. That could happen. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. That it could be really something good for us. In that light. So if we can make a little more money to pay for when our taxes are going to increase, it might all end up okay. I don't know. Crazier things have happened, I'm sure.
Well, that's what Paul Volcker called voodoo economics, when Ronald Reagan reduced the taxes, which meant the government had less money coming in, but because people bought more stuff, the revenue actually went up. By reducing taxes, revenue went up, which is the same, phenomenon you're saying could happen again.
It could happen again, yeah. So we shall see. Jimmy, we have 3 months of inventory, and I don't know that you heard me, but NAR said that in April we were doing 5.5 average offers per listing, and now we're down to 2.5. What do you think that's going to have as far as the impact on the market? One of the things I will caveat that before you answer the question is that NAR did say that we still have a demand. Yes, it's gone down because of the first-time homebuyers, but there's still a demand out there for housing. So what do you have to say about how 2.5 offers per listing is now? That's national on an average. What do you think about that number? Is that normal?
It is normal, and it's still 2 offers more than, the seller can only take 1 offer. So the seller's still having more offers than they can take. And, the problem is when somebody jumps on the bandwagon, Chicken Little shows his head and everybody's saying how terrible it is. And it's a blip, and B, it's not even a significant blip. It's just a shock to people that, how could you not see this coming? We've been talking about it for 2 years.
I know. And if you take the price of 470, 40% of the listings and the listings are 9,750. 40% of those single family homes, which is 7,580, those are 470 and less. But let me show you this, because I've been tracking this diligently, as you know. Since I guess Friday, it was up at 460. It's down to 451 anyway. So the median price is 451.5. That's going to allow more people to come into the market, because that's a lot different than 485, which it was in May and June.
Well, and 450 at 5% and 435 at 4.5% is a less payment at 435. I mean, at less payment. I'm sorry. The fact that prices are going down, if rates continue to go down too, it's going to allow a lot more people in the market. But
Oh yeah.
Buffini said that the terrible beauty of a recession, and he called it the terrible beauty of a recession. He said one of the terrible beauties of a recession is it makes everybody get more skilled. You didn't need any skill at all to get a listing when the seller said just throw it in MLS, and you didn't need any marketing skill at all, and you didn't need any skill with buyers because the buyers knew what they were up against when they came in. Now you've got to get those buyers to be loyal to you in a market where they have more choices. They have more control now. Let's see what they do with that.
Well, I think that everything that's going on, our market's going to continue to flourish. People are still going to move here. That is really not changed over time. I mean, COVID didn't even stop it, just temporarily. So
Right.
the 451 price is pretty cool. In February, that's where it was. And what do you think it's going to go down to, Jimmy?
Well, we'll at least get to 435 before the end of the year, at the very least.
435. So we'll be back where we started.
Yeah.
And so I don't, you're the calculator mind there. So if I'm getting a mortgage now at 5.5% versus what, 4%?
Yeah.
Is that a big deal?
Yeah, it's $500 a month more payment.
How do you do that so fast?
1.5% of 400,000. And 12 months, 500.
Okay. You said that too fast for my brain. Say it again. How do I figure it out?
Well, if it's 400,000 and it goes down 1.5%, that is $6,000 a year in interest that you're not having to pay. Or if it went up 1.5%, then it's 6,000. Either way, it's $6,000. Which
so you just take it and divide it by 12.
Yeah, it's 500.
I got it. Okay.
The challenge though isn't the $500; it's the fact that you got to make $2,000 more in income. It's the income side that's making things go off. My income didn't go up. I maybe could afford $500 a month, but the lender doesn't think so.
Interesting thought. Linda Eden, she was in our social media mega group on Friday and then also joined our Buffini. So what she said is that there's the $10,000 buy down that she's using to get her buyers on board. So if you buy it down and you still have the money for $10,000 buys it down and you still have the money for the down payment, maybe it's I don't know.
Your payment goes down so you can qualify. That's the buy down. That's the beauty of the buy down. Your payment goes down. Now I can buy a $430,000 house instead of a $360,000 house. And $360,000, I didn't really want to live there. But $430,000, $70,000 makes quite a difference in the house that I'm buying.
That's and for only $10,000 I can do that, right?
Right. And the seller could pay the 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what builders are doing. Builders are doing that right now. They're paying the 10 so they can get the rates down so people can buy their houses. They're not dropping their prices so much. They're just throwing that buy down in there.
I hope everybody's listening because that's really big. That's really big. That the builders are doing that too. Wow. What else do you know, Jimmy? I know I've been struggling with my audio, so my brain is.
Well, here's what I know. We have going on right now, the Buffini training. It started on Friday, and I know you talk about it all the time, but it is so fundamental, and that's the terrible beauty of a recession is it forces us to build our skills and get back to the basics, and it may be basics, but when you're doing those basics over and over again and if you don't do them, your skills erode. And I think that's what we've seen in the last year or two. Agents haven't needed skills. They just haven't needed skills.
And there's not a lot of negotiating going on.
There's skill level in everywhere, locking up the buyer, negotiating the sale, knowing the financing, like you said, seeing what other agents are doing, all that networking and stuff. Nobody thinks that's a skill. That's a skill. When you network, when you're in a room with 15 agents that are out there doing business, that are paying for training, because this training isn't free. Most agents, I'll go when it's free. Well, it ain't free. So that you're talking to agents that are out there making money, working hard, trying to make a successful career. That's who you want to hang around. Your associations is huge.
And I was saying earlier when you were absent that if you miss the first Buffini class, it's not the end of the world because you can catch up on the hour of video, and then there's not a lot of homework the first week.
Right.
If you can come on this Friday from 11 to 1 and sign up, If you sign up now, you'll get your materials pretty quickly. And I was showing everybody the box of materials you get is worth what you pay for the class. I mean, it's just amazing. And it gives you the steps that you should take in using those materials. And then on top of that, you learn all the scripts, and he shows his listing presentation further on into the weeks. And then he shows, following up with a buyer, following up with his sellers. I mean, he gives you all this information because, fear is like, you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to trip up. You don't want people to think you're an idiot. But here's a man who is turned people making $35,000 a year into people making $350,000 a year. I think he knows what he's talking about.
Well, with no reluctance at all, I would say this course is worth 10 times the price. It's worth $5,000 easy. That's a half a commission. And if you take this course, you don't do more than 1 or 2 more deals this year, just because of this course, just because of being around these people, there's $20,000 in commissions if you do 2 deals. And the course is $500. Are you serious? It's worth $5,000. So if you don't have the money, you can find a way to get the money somehow or other. And if you don't have the money, you know what they say, that's the ones who really need the course.
Exactly. And, you and I, we get paid so much money for doing this, right, Jimmy?
Oh, I know. Kane's laughing back there. Kane's back here supporting your humor.
So we have 3 people, Kane, you and me, and we help everybody through. We're right there in the classroom with everybody every week, and we have great discussions, and we bring up great topics, and we expound on what Buffini teaches you. I can't think of a better thing to do this quarter than take this course.
It definitely is going to set us up for the next year. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about when we launched it, because it's going to set us all ready for next year. October, November, December, things might be a little bit slower, but we have time to build our skills and build our pipeline. And that way, when January hits, we're already crushing it.
Absolutely. And I want to show everybody a quick little video here. Tom Ferry did this earlier today, and I recorded it. So let me show everybody. I got to mute us. So, and give me a high sign if, have Kane let me know if everybody can hear this.
None of us have any more time. It's time for you to decide what it is you want and then pour yourself into it. That night, I said to my son, what do you want to do? And he's like, we were just in Chicago with a friend of ours, and he builds skyscrapers, and he says, I want to be like Uncle Jimmy, and I want to build skyscrapers. And I'm like, then you know what we have to do? We got to start. We got to start right now. And you know what we did from 11:30 until 1:30 in the morning? We built skyscraper sandcastles, because once you decide what you want, you've got to activate immediately and start doing something. And you know what? My wife came down at 1:30 and she was like, what are you guys doing? And my son looked her right in the eye and said, Mommy, we're building skyscraper sandcastles because we don't have any time. Tick tock, tick tock. What are you going to do? You going to get off your butt and finally get after it? Or are you just going to let another day go by? Get off Instagram, get off YouTube, and get in action. Skyscrapers, and he says, I want to be like Uncle Jimmy, and I want to build skyscrapers. And I'm like, then you know what we have to do? We got to start. We got to start right now. And you know what we did from 11:30 until 1:30 in the morning? We built skyscraper sandcastles, because once you decide what you want, you've got to activate immediately and start doing something. And you know what? My wife came down at 1:30 and she was like, what are you guys doing? And my son looked her right in the eye and said, Mommy, we're building skyscraper sandcastles because we don't have any time. Tick tock, tick tock. What are you going to do? You going to get off your butt and finally get after it? Or are you just going to let another day go by? Get off Instagram, get off YouTube, and get in action. YouTube, and get in action.
I thought that was really good.
TikTok for sure.
Exactly. And so like you and I, I didn't know you were going to plug the fact that we launched this program so people could prepare for 2023. But that was the thinking behind it, that we would wait until August, September and launch it so that people could get prepared for next year. And I mean, we've already said today that the market is not going to slow down. I mean, there's many factors going on. Interest rates are hovering, going down a little bit. They might go up another 3/4 point by the end of the year, says Powell, but we'll see. But in the meantime, there's more people coming into the market because of their student loans are going to be relieved. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? And the prices are going down. And the $10,000 buy-in. I mean, it's time to get going. Tick tock, tick tock.
This is going to be the lowest month of sales, I think, for the year. I think September will beat August. I think October will beat September, and November and December are going to be right in the same vein, wherever that is. We'll see where it is, but I have a feeling, as you said, we're going to get more sales. It's going to level out, and this is going to be our worst month probably for the year, I think.
The only difference is it's not going to be the frenzy we had with 3% interest.
Right.
So again, you need to hone your skills, and skills you can learn. You can learn. And when you learn all these skills, you get so much confidence, then you get enthusiasm, then you have energy, and all of a sudden things start to happen. TikTok.
Well, when you can be so inspired that you're up until 1:30 in the morning and your wife comes down and, what the hell are you doing? You know, that's inspiration. That's inspired.
Yeah.
How many real estate agents you know that are that inspired about their real estate career?
I don't know, Jimmy. And what are you doing today? What's our class about?
Today is on controlling the buyer's experience. Really, a lot of it's going to be on setting the buyer up. But Feeney's made a comment in one of his trainings. He said he never lost a single buyer, not a single one in his entire real estate career, not a single one. And he doesn't lie. I mean, if this guy says he didn't lose a single one, now I realize some people came in, they might not be able to buy, because that happened to him. He had people come in that weren't able to buy right then. So he didn't consider that losing a buyer. But the reason he said, the reason I never lost a buyer is because I had the presentation when they came in. I laid things out for them, and they realized this guy, A, he knows what he's doing. B, he cares about us. C, there's a plan for us to follow. Well, I don't need anybody else. I don't need anybody else. All I need is this guy. And he talked about his after sale service that really said, look, I'm not here for one transaction. I'm here for the lifetime of you being a client. You're a lifetime client for me. And that's impressive.
Of course it is. Yes. Yes. And so many people we see, somebody says, well, the agent that sold my home 5 years ago, I don't even know their name.
Yep.
I can't even remember their name. That's terrible, everybody.
Yep.
Anyway, Jimmy and Kane, I would like Kane to put up Ruthie Rocks on the screen, and I want to play the September song 3 minutes before we start the class. And it's on Ruthie Rocks. Go down to Friday's show.
I don't know if he's hearing it, but I'll tell him.
Okay. And I will see you shortly. I got to get in my car and on the way.
Okay.
I love you all, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. See you in a minute.